So a black family had their family reunion shot up in Georgia. You heard that correct. An AR-15 was pulled out by a white man on a black family trying to celebrate their family reunion in Georgia. These actions reflect the point I've been trying to make all week. If you pay attention to recent headlines in regards to the legal field, you will see something sinister going on. Earlier this week, we had the acquittal of Cyrus Carmack-Belton's killer in South Carolina, as well as the sentencing of Carmelo Anthony in Texas, that are two sides of a similar coin. Cyrus was murdered by a store owner over merchandise he didn't even take, a water bottle, while Carmelo Anthony was sentenced for defending himself against a racially motivated attack at a track meet. On one end, they're telling people it is okay to harm us and take our lives as black people. But on the other hand, they're telling us we won't be protected in defending ourselves. So they've strengthened the willingness of people to create violent acts against us rooted in racism. But they've weakened our ability to safely defend ourselves from the attack that have been emboldened by recent decisions, as well as the overall political makeup of the...
Black people are boycotting Asian stores because an Asian store owner recently just off the black kid, and this is the most stupidest thing ever. This is one of the most racist things you can ever do, and it's coming from black people, and I'm very disappointed, right? Because, you guys gone through the most, struggle in racism, so I thought you would be more understanding about, not turning things into racist issues immediately. But, here it is. You see a Chinese guy or just an Asian guy do something bad to a black guy, and you automatically start boycotting, stereotyping, and grouping in all the other Asians. What the hell kind of logic is that? We do not associate with the guy. Have you seen a single Asian person, glorifying or saying that guy, he did it, he did the right thing, that black kid deserved to have that happen to him? No. Who is supporting him? No one is supporting him. If the Chinese community was supporting that Chinese guy or Asian guy, then I would understand you're boycotting everyone. But literally no one is supporting him. We're all condemning him. Show me one person who's supporting that Asian store owner. What are we doing? Why are you becoming more racist? Why are we fighting racism with racism? This is the most stupidest thing ever, bro. If anything, this is raising racial tensions between blacks and Asians. This is the most stupidest. You're just setting everyone back. This is so stupid. Please do not do this, okay? I understand that, that black kid did not deserve to have that happen to him, all right? And I agree. We all agree on that. Every Chinese person or Asian person, I can, probably agree for them on their behalf, okay? We all, saying that Asian guy did not, saying he's a bad person. He deserves to go to jail for a long time. We all agree on that. There's no need for you to start boycotting and become racist to other Asian stores because of this one singular incident. Are you stupid? What? If you see, your black friend doing this, genuinely please explain to them and calm them down, because this is not the right way to, combat racism.
When they killed George Floyd, did you stop going to white businesses? Did you stop shopping at IKEA?
IKEA is Swedish. Swedish.
Did you stop eating Haagen-Dazs?
Haagen-Dazs is Polish American. He migrated here in 1921 from Poland.
Did you stop posting to Pinterest?
Even though he was born here, the executive chairman of Pinterest is Chinese and German. You're generalizing what you think white American or white businesses actually is. It's not my job to give you a history lesson, but it is my job to clarify a few things. In Houston, for example, do you see an IKEA anywhere in any hood at all? We see different types of Asians in our community. We see Indians, we see Vietnamese, we see Chinese, and we see Korean, all in our neighborhoods. We don't see no white people like that. This was a total situation because not only was the police officer that killed George Floyd white, but he was also a police officer. It's a totally different fight. Totally different fight. And we've been dealing with corrupt police officers that's been killing black people since we've been here. We wanted that police officer put under the motherfucking jail. We wasn't worried about no white businesses. We've seen too many instances where they've harmed us or killed us and gotten away with it because of the badge on their motherfucking chest. And guess what? It worked. David Chauvin was sentenced to second-degree unintentional murder and third-degree murder. All of the other officers that participated in George Floyd's death was also sentenced as well. Between 2020 and 2021 alone, the U.S. government passed over 140 law enforcement oversight bills. And policing in these neighborhoods immediately went down 50% after George Floyd's death and these protests. Were there negative impacts as well? Yes. But did we get the motherfucking job done? Yes, the fuck we did. The boycott call is a little bit different, isn't it? We're not gonna do to your businesses what we did to those businesses when George Floyd lost his motherfucking life. Because it was one of, or the most costliest protest in American history. We just said we ain't want to come to them motherfuckers for a little while, depending on how long, however motherfucking we feel, till we get over it. And we are well within our right to do so. well within our right to do so. Maybe if you understand the importance of the black dollar, maybe you'll understand the importance of the black life. Because the rift is ridiculous.
There is a lot of rising tension between the Asian and Black American community, with Black Americans saying, let's boycott some Asian businesses, and Asian Americans saying, stop attacking our people. And this is all being caused due to the acquittal of Rick Chow in the murder of Cyrus Carmack-Belton. And it's upsetting seeing this divide occur, because we should all be, with each other in solidarity as minorities, right? I think we can all agree that Rick Chow should be in prison. He shot and murdered a 14-year-old boy. However, why are we combating that with racism against one another? In my opinion, the only person that wins as the result of us attacking each other, us unfairly discriminating against Black Americans unfairly discriminating against Asian Americans, are the bigots that support Rick Chow being found not guilty. One man's actions should not justify demonizing an entire community. Calling in fake orders to Asian restaurants and boycotting small Asian businesses is not the answer. Do I discriminate against everybody from Vermont because Chester Arthur is the one that signed the Chinese Exclusion Act? No, I think that's unreasonable. I like Bernie. I hope some justice is served for Cyrus Carmack-Belton and his family.
To the Asian man who challenged all Black people to boycott all Asian businesses, I'd like to say thank you. We haven't seen a level of unity and camaraderie this large since probably George Floyd. I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I don't know if Black people would have ever gotten to this point where we all unified under one singular movement this way. Like, it is powerful. The Asian people are starting to feel the effects of what you have done. This is impacting your people more than it's impacting my people. We are uniting against this. You have destroyed Asian businesses. That's you. You did that. And I'd like to thank you for getting my people to work together on something like this. This means the world to me. And to the Asian people who are hurting because of the decisions and the words that this person has said, you know who to come for.
We do not claim this man. So apparently this guy decided to burn a cross in Chicago, which we all know has historically been a very racist sign that the KKK used. And the more situations that arise like this, the worse it makes our community look. I just want to make it clear that most Asians know that this is terrible behavior. With this, I do want to remind people that Asians are not a monolith, and assuming that all Asians are racist is in itself racist and perpetuates the stereotype that we are all the same. And at the same time, I do think there have been enough instances for Asians to have to kind of be on the defense, the same way that white people or men sometimes have to be like, by the way, guys, I'm not that. I'm not that. I guess this is me doing that. But I guess in some ways it's a good thing, because now it gives us the opportunity to clear the air and to define where we are in American society and in history. Because a lot of Asians forget, specifically because the US school system never taught us, that we have a lot of shared history with Black and brown people in America. I was a full-on adult when I found out that Asians were brought to the Americas as slaves as well. Like,
all right, I guess we're doing this. I've made a couple of videos on my thoughts on this whole situation of discrimination against Black folks from Asian people as a mixed person who was born in Korea lived there till the age of 12, until I got adopted by white people in the Midwest, white evangelicals from West Michigan, and then found my real dad the year I turned 50, which changed my life. That was only 6 years ago, but I have decided to go back to college to become a psychologist, to address the traumas of my life. And I realized there were so many of us adoptees like struggling and just trying to fight to just breathe as mixed race adoptees from other countries. So I've been studying identity and belonging for quite a while. And what I want to talk about is the racism from the Asian communities, especially the business owners in the Black communities, and the intersectionality that makes it all just boil in just a nasty old pot. So there's a complexity between opportunity and discrimination in this intersection of Asian people and Black folks. I'm not just talking about Koreans, Asian people from everywhere. So we are talking about the historical dominance of white supremacy getting built over centuries, and the systems that it has been building, like I said, for centuries. And it's always starts with the Black people being at the very, very, very bottom, and Asian and other minorities kind of being in the middle, just kind of as that whole model minority thing. Somebody accused me of that in another thread, and I'll address that too later. I want to start with how Asian businesses got started in these Black communities. So while I am not going to go and cite every resource that I got this information from, you're more than welcome to go check it out yourself because Google is free. So Black people have been systematically held down to not be able to excel and ascend beyond their station that they were given. So when there are Black people who save enough money to go open businesses in their communities for what they need, the banking system was geared against saying no, or predatory lending practices. But more often than not, they were told no, because while Black people can work their fingers to the bone for everybody else, the minute they try to do something for themselves, it's a threat. So while they're consistently being told no or subjected to really unfair and predatory practices, the Asian people coming through were told yes, but they couldn't open in the areas that they wanted to open. They were only given opportunities in these redlined areas where Black people live. So Asian people, being the industrious little society that they are, they're going to take whatever they can, wherever they can get it. And in addition to that, the whole difference between how each culture addresses moving forward and progress is distinctly different. While America and Black folks, in general, the culture is individual because we are conditioned here to look out for ourselves, right? Just ourselves. We don't talk about anybody else. But in Asia, just the culture itself and how we teach our children, how we navigate life, it's always about the family and who you are with, your community. So your community's well-being is better and more respected than your own personal. So you will sacrifice your personal happiness, joy, whatever, so that the community can be okay. While in the US, it's completely the opposite. So Asian communities, even when they don't get the loans from the bank, they get together and they pool their money. Have you heard of the Hui system, which is HUI? It's where they gather money and pour it all into one person to open a business, buy a house or whatever. And then when that person is set up, and then they all get together and do it for the next person, and they take turns doing that until everybody is doing okay. We don't do that in the Black communities as much because I'm sure there are some going on, but we don't notice it as much because Black people are conditioned to not trust anyone and to only look out for themselves, which puts them in another deeper set of despair and unfair practices. So the racial hierarchy is perpetuated throughout generations. And human nature, it just dictates that we stay where we feel safe. We stay where we feel like we have the opportunity. We stay where we feel like we have an edge over somebody else. And in the Asian community, they've always had an edge over Black folks. And the closer we are to white people, the more we are convinced that we are safe and cared for, when in reality, we're just still below. We're still like a pet almost, but the pet that gets to live in the house. Don't let me get started and the Asian women fetish the men have. So when we put the intersectionalities, all of it together, the system was built for us to hate each other. The system was built for us to think that we need to blame one another for what's not good in our life and what bad stuff that happens, when it was really perpetuated by white supremacy. So I'm gonna make more. So let's continue the conversation because it's time.
In 2026, acting goofy about why Black Canadians and Americans are boycotting Asian businesses is just a testament to the anti-intellectualism and the literal racism that is prevalent in the diaspora of Asian communities. But I just wanted to add my 2 cents as an ally to the Black community. Maybe instead of say boycott, look at it as an audit, because as people who are using your coin, your money, as a stewardship and extension of yourself and the prosperity that it will cultivate and then bring back to you and yours, you have to audit where your money is going. And if you see that the investment is lacking, you go elsewhere. Simple as that. It's just economics, right? Into Black-owned businesses.